Good evening, everyone. I'm Andrew Hans.
And I'm Kevin Hodge. Tonight on your WZMQ 19 News, UPAWS details its large intake of dogs following a Scandia Township arrest over the weekend.
Plus, energy rates in Escanaba are set to be higher this year. We'll tell you how the city is looking to ease those costs.
And the Marquette Branch Prison holds its first hiring open house of the year. Your 19 News at 11 starts now.
Live from the UP, this is WZMQ 19 News at 11.
And a first look at your forecast. We'll start off with the report card. Typically, it's not looking too good in the winter, but wanted to show you we're finally above average. 29 for the high. The average is 22. As of 5:30, no fresh snow accumulation, but we know we saw some of that wintry mix moving on through. But another comfortable, even mild day for tomorrow as the warm-up continues, mid-30s. Some rays of sunshine. That's really all you can ask for. It's those little wins like that in January that we have to be thankful for. I'll break down the rest of the week and a look at that snow coming for the weekend in just a few.
Kelly, thank you very much. UPAWS is facing a sudden and dramatic increase in the animals in its care. Our John Truitt has the story.
When police arrived at the home of 31-year-old Kyle Bushemin after reports of domestic abuse and the conclusion of a standoff, police discovered nearly 30 dogs on the property, at which point the dogs were given over to the care of UPAWS for safekeeping.
When there is some sort of a potential neglect case or potential situation, the sheriff or the county police will call us to see if we can assist.
Marquette County Sheriff's deputies removed the pit bull mixed dogs from the wooded lot on Carl's End Road, including 2 litters of newborn puppies, several adult dogs, and a few cats. The animals are not up for adoption, as their legal status has not yet been determined.
We are not sure if we will be getting custody of them or not. That is all up to what happens next with the process.
UPAWS is asking for donations to help care for the unexpected influx of animals. The public is invited to donate clean bedding, towels, dog food, and toys. Monetary contributions are also appreciated.
When we get a large intake at one time, we go through a lot of our resources. So building that back up, paper towels, dish soap, laundry detergent, bleach.
The new dogs are being housed away from the general population of adoptable pets at UPAWS, where they are undergoing health evaluations. In Sands Township, John Truitt, WZMQ 19 News.
This year, Escanaba residents will see an increase in their electric payments, which the city says is due to a state requirement. Our Escanaba Bureau reporter Lily Simmons has details on the new charge and how the city aims to ease the burden on customers.
As of January 1st, Escanaba electric utility customers will see an energy waste reduction surcharge on their bills.
For a residential customer, it's approximately 3% increase. It's not a lot when you talk cents. It's 0.35 cents per kilowatt hour.
According to the city's electric utility director, the increase is a result of Michigan's current clean energy laws.
They set certain metrics that need to be met. It's 1.5% savings on energy, and then there's reporting requirements.
Despite the increase, he says Escanaba's energy rates are still among the lowest in the Upper Peninsula.
I would challenge anyone to look at all the utilities around us and compare rates, even with this energy waste reduction surcharge.
To help meet state requirements, the city is partnering with the Michigan Public Power Agency and Franklin Energy to create a new program.
The program is basically the energy rebate program, similar to what we have been running, except it's going to be run by a third party now, Franklin Energy. They have 15 to 20 years of experience running programs like this.
Right now, the program is still in development, but like the existing rebate program, it will offer savings for electric utility customers who purchase certain appliances.
LED lighting upgrades, Energy Star appliances for commercial businesses. It could be variable speed drives or other energy efficient upgrades that they can do.
Even though the program hasn't started yet, purchases made anytime after the first of the year will qualify. The city has signed a 4-year contract with Franklin Energy, which the electric utility director believes is a positive step toward making state mandated changes and making those changes work for customers.
Several other municipalities would be joining in, so there's economy of scale. Just getting a good relationship for those 4 years, it'll help both Escanaba and Franklin run a good program.
Reporting in Escanaba, Lily Simmons, WZMQ 19 News.
The Michigan Department of Corrections is looking to gain more assistance for the Marquette Branch Prison this year. Today we spoke with an assistant deputy warden at the facility who tells us about the help they're looking for and what to expect during the hiring process. In times of short staffing, hands on deck at the Marquette Branch Prison and others across Michigan find themselves continuing their duties under stricter hours to cover more ground. Assistant Deputy Warden Michael James has been working at the Marquette Prison for 15 years. He says within those years there's always a high demand for more help.
It's presented some challenges with our staffing levels. That said, the team that we have here has been absolutely amazing in overcoming these challenges. That's why we're doing what we're doing here. Always looking for more people to kind of help spread the work. The more we get, obviously, the less mandatory overtime is out there.
In terms of hiring, the facility is open to multiple positions, but particularly searching for corrections officers, medical staff, and culinary positions.
We do have a need in those 3 locations, but if you can kind of think of it out in the city, we probably have something that is an analog here. Anything from entry-level, secretarial positions to maintenance mechanics, electricians, plumbers. Essentially this is a little city within itself.
The Marquette Prison held its first hiring open house of the year this afternoon. On the first Tuesday of each month at this branch, the Michigan Department of Corrections welcomes those interested for interviews and a physical training test.
You have the opportunity to come in, we would interview you, size you for uniforms, and then we would go down and conduct a PT test. We're trying to kind of spread that out, like I said earlier, as much as we can, get as many people to come join this great team and hopefully come help make things right.
The Department of Corrections is also utilizing monthly help through Michigan Works and large events like the Builders Show and county fairs to extend its hiring outreach.
As lawmakers prepare to return to Lansing for the new year, Upper Peninsula representatives are laying out priorities for 2026. To learn more, our Michigan Capitol correspondent Sophia Murphy spoke with State Representative Carl Bonak. He says energy policy and healthcare access will be at the top of his agenda as the legislature heads into an election year.
As Michigan lawmakers look ahead to 2026, State Representative Carl Bonak says his top priority remains unfinished business tied directly to the Upper Peninsula's energy needs.
We need reliable, affordable energy, and we also need to keep well-paying jobs up here.
The legislation would exempt Upper Peninsula reciprocating internal combustion engine, or RICE generators, from parts of the state's 2023 climate law, allowing them to operate through 2050.
These RICE units are in jeopardy because of the Climate Act, the Healthy Climate Bill that was passed in 2023.
Beyond energy, Bonak says healthcare access is another major focus this year, especially in rural areas.
We have interstate compacts that we did get going to share healthcare services with other states, like, for instance, Wisconsin.
Those agreements would allow healthcare professionals to work across state lines without additional licensing, helping address staffing shortages in the UP. Bonak also addressed concerns from constituents about taxes and road funding, following recent changes at the pump designed to send more money directly to fixing Michigan roads.
The fuel tax really didn't go up. What happened was the sales tax on gas, which we were one of the few states that still have a sales tax on gas, will be replaced by an increase in the fuel tax.
With 2026 midterms incoming, Bonak says legislative work won't be taking a back seat, saying there is work to be done in Lansing before focus can shift to re-election campaigns at home. From Michigan's capital, Sophia Murphy, WZMQ 19 News.
Your first warning weather forecast is after the break. Plus, today marks the 5th anniversary of the January 6th attack. We'll hear about its impact on today's political landscape.
And lawmakers in Washington are weighing in on the U.S.'s recent involvement in Venezuela. We're back in 2 minutes.
Now, WZMQ TV 19 First Warning Weather with meteorologist Kelly Rowland.
And welcome back. Before we get into our local weather, wanted to talk about there's just some weird things going on in the weather across the globe. Let's focus in on Hawaii, where they saw 10 inches of snow with a winter storm warning. It's not completely rare for Hawaii to see snow, but of course once you get to those high mountain ranges, you very well could see snow. But this was just significant because it was 10 inches of snow and they had a winter storm warning, so it's not completely out of the question, but it doesn't happen every day. So I wanted to just show you that there's just some weird things going on. Snow in Hawaii, warmer temperatures for Marquette. I wanted to pull this back out. The precipitation chances, not just snow. This encompasses all types of precipitation. So more of this snow moving through in the overnight, but then that clears on out. Tomorrow morning we should be looking good in terms of no extra snow, no extra rain, but not necessarily going to be the most sunny day. We're stuck in the clouds, but the temperatures continue to rise. And then we're kind of just waiting for this next system, which would be more so Thursday night into Friday morning, so shouldn't really impact your Thursday too much, but if you're headed out very early Friday morning or Thursday night, just watch out for that rain moving through. But with all the different temperatures varying around that freezing mark, you very well could see all types of these precipitation types in a short amount of time. So just to recap really quickly, it's all about what we call temperature profile, how much time, how much warm air is there for something to melt, if so. So when you have rain, it actually starts out as snow, but then the warm air melts it completely before it's hitting the ground. But for ice, it does melt most of the way, but then there's a little bit of cold air right before the surface where it allows some of that refreezing to happen. Freezing rain, very dangerous to drive in. That's how black ice happens. And then sleet, you have some warm air, not as much, and then there's enough time for it to freeze and become snow, but it's wet snow and it's not the prettiest. And then snow, it doesn't melt any way down. But freezing rain is something we need to be careful of. That can contribute to a glazing of ice. So in the overnight, just watch out, especially down to the Iron Mountain and Menominee area. There could be a small glaze of ice, and if you're not worried about driving in that, or you're not driving at all, even just walking somewhere, we know we can maybe waddle in case there's some slick areas to make sure you don't slip on the ice. But with all that being said, it's still that January thaw, that highly anticipated one that I've been talking about. The jet stream is continuing to push north, and that's allowing the warmer air to come in. So just be thankful that we're getting a break from the colder air, and whenever something moves in the atmosphere, something has to replace it. So the colder air that's moving out of the way is being replaced, thankfully, with warmer air from the south. But it's short-lived. We can already see that shift starting to come back for Thursday into Friday. So warmer for tomorrow, and then that overnight rain-snow mix for Thursday, keeping things dry for Friday. But then we'll talk more about this too. Some snow showers and probably some widespread snow for Saturday as we're back down to reality, into the cold, into the 20s.
Thanks, Kelly. Leading up to the January 6th, 2021 U.S. Capitol attack, President Donald Trump claimed the election was stolen, continuing that claim. These claims of alleged widespread election fraud in 2020 were investigated, litigated, and judges found they were without merit. Our Washington, D.C. correspondent Rachel Knapp spoke with an election watchdog about our election's integrity.
We're seeing an attempt to rewrite history. It's been going on almost immediately after those attacks, to not just forget about the events of January 6th, but completely reinvent a fake mythology around those attacks.
David Becker with the Center for Election Innovation and Research, a nonprofit that works with election officials and builds confidence in elections, reflects on the anniversary of January 6, 2021. Then President Donald Trump claimed the election was rigged. A group of Trump supporters stormed the Capitol, trying to prevent Congress from certifying the election results.
That attack was based on a lie. It was based on a lie that our elections are rife with fraud. It was based on a lie that that election in particular and other elections were being stolen from the American people, and that is simply not true.
Becker says the several court cases that followed showed no widespread fraud, and adds election fraud is rare. According to a 2024 Gallup poll, Republicans' faith in the accuracy of election results nationwide has dropped from 44% to 28% since the 2020 election. Democrats' confidence in the reliability of the presidential vote has remained high according to that poll. While Congress has made reforms for election guardrails, Becker is concerned false claims of election fraud will continue in future elections.
I do expect there are going to be baseless claims about fraud, even though our elections are as secure as they've ever been, have more transparency and verifiability than they ever have. I think the allegations of fraud are going to be conveniently targeted at those places where election conspiracy theorists and their candidates have lost.
In Washington, Rachel Knapp, WZMQ 19 News.
Lawmakers are back on Capitol Hill this week, facing a packed agenda that now includes how Congress responds to the U.S. removal of Venezuela's President Nicolas Maduro. Over the weekend, the U.S. carried out targeted strikes on Venezuela and forcibly removed its leader, bringing he and his wife to New York City, where they face a slew of charges. This week, Congress will have to weigh its constitutional role in matters of war, foreign intervention, and executive power. The Senate is preparing to vote later this week on a measure aimed at limiting the president's war powers in Venezuela, a move signaling bipartisan concern over how far U.S. involvement could go. On Monday, congressional leaders received a classified briefing on the operation and the administration's plan for the region.
We got no real answers. They don't know where they're headed. I asked for some assurances that they were not planning operations in other countries, and I named a few of the ones you mentioned, including Colombia and Cuba, and I was very, very disappointed in their answer.
This is not a regime change. This is a demand for change of behavior by a regime. The interim government is stood up now, and we are hopeful that they will be able to correct their action. They cannot participate with narco-terrorists.
At least 24 members of the Venezuela military were killed in Saturday's operation. Cuba also said today that 32 members of its military were also killed.
Mike Ludlum has your look at sports. When we come back, he'll bring us the highlights on Gwynn and Ishpeming girls basketball playing on NMU's campus this evening. We'll be right back.
Hi there, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and 7, and 8, 9, and 10. Good evening, everyone. Ishpeming's Maya Hemmer possibly became the first Upper Peninsula High School volleyball player to sign a national letter of intent with a Division I school, Baylor University in Texas. Hemmer says it will be a completely new experience. A small warning, a balloon pops during the interview.
Huge change going from Ishpeming to Baylor, just in the gym wise. I visited the arena for Baylor once, and it is huge. It's their old basketball facility, so it's like a big dome pretty much.
We take the phone calls, the emails, like how to play, how to practice, how to think. But to be honest with you, a lot of it came from Maya. She came to me with a great mindset, and I was just able to, keep the spark alive and keep the fire going. She's just a great, incredible athlete.
I'm still kind of like trying to go through it and like be like, oh my gosh, wait, I'm like going to Baylor. And I'm like, okay, it's 4 months from now. Wow, that came by fast. So yeah, high school does go by in a blink of an eye.
Hemmer was an All-State first-team player in Division IV last fall. She was a member of the UP Dream Team and the UP Defensive Player of the Year in Division IV. Let's go to Vandeman Arena in girls basketball for Gwynn and Ishpeming. Second half action, Janessa Eagle with the inbound to Meyer Hemmer. Took 2 tries to get it right. She had 15 points. To the other end, Elena Sawyering inbounds to Cadence Ruggiero. She glides the ball in with the left hand. Back to the other end for the Hematites, Frankie Stetson will grab the loose ball ahead to Michigan Tech recruit Janessa Eagle. She'll get a few chances to play in Vandeman Arena in the next few years. She had 16 points in the contest. Ishpeming coach Ryan Reek will play college ball at NMU. McKaylee Kuhn on the bench. JV coach is the Wildcat women's all-time leading scorer. And meanwhile, we get Eagle hitting another 3. Ishpeming went on to win this one 53-30 to remain undefeated. Over in Gladstone, the Braves hosting the Westwood Patriots. Senior Lily Johnson came into the game 8 points shy of setting the all-time scoring record for both boys and girls at Gladstone. Didn't stall getting started, scoring the first Gladstone 7 points. This 3-pointer tied her with Reese Castor, who played at NMU with 1,802 points. Here comes the history off the inbound play. She will hit another one from the outside. The University of Wisconsin Green Bay recruit, now the all-time leading scorer. She had 27 on the night, 18-22 for the moment, and Gladstone went on to win 51-30. We'll come back to Marquette County, where Western County was taking on Negaunee. Off the miss, Paige O'Donnell with the rebound. She finds Gretel Johnson to Claire O'Donnell for the basket, and the Negaunee lead was growing in the third quarter. The basket seemed like it had a lid for the Wycons. Liliana Saunders with the rebound, up to Gretel Johnson, takes it this time with the left hand and the scoop. That made it 32-7 Miners. Wycons catch Negaunee napping. Bristol Shammy and the Kyla Erickson for the bucket, but it was Miners from start to finish, 55-18. Kara Waterman paced Negaunee with 19 points. Ishpeming at Negaunee for a boys and girls doubleheader Friday night. To the board, Baraga 15 better than Calumet, 51-36. Ewan Trail Creek over Hancock, 48-37. Big Bay drops Superior Central, 42-18. Dollar Bay over Watersmeet, 39-18. Niagara crosses the border and gets past North Dickinson, 46-39. Lauren Adams becomes Norway's all-time leading girls scorer, 47-29 in that victory for the Knights. It was Houghton over Lakeland and Hubble, 64-46. Lots no trouble with Ironwood, 75-31. Marquette defeated Escanaba, 55-33. Avery Osborne had 20 for the Sentinels, but the bus for Escanaba flipped on its side on the way home on M553. 2 girls went to UPHS Marquette with bumps and bruises. Escanaba officials say everyone else is okay and they're all just fine. It was Ontonagon cruising past Bessemer 50-10. The Sioux over Alpena 68-27. And Maplewood Baptist 6 better than Mackinac Island 55-49. Back to Delta County and Escanaba for a Great Northern Conference battle between Marquette and Escanaba. And Taylor Asgard will go to the basket here for the Eskimos. He had 14 points, but the Eskimos were trailing 43-24. Connor Firestein will get his defender up in the air. He puts that one in. Marquette leads by 22. Firestein had 16. Brody Clements had a pretty good night. He will get the basket coming up here. He ended up with 21. Halen McCallum had 19. Marquette wins easily, 84-44. And another doubleheader Friday night with Menominee visiting Marquette. On the boys' board, Ethan Marta 30 points for Westwood, another win for the Patriots, 68-46 over Gladstone. North Dickinson 52, Bark River Harris 41. Carnegie in the win column over Hannahville 50-37. Superior Central 11 better than Big Bay tonight 57-46. Dollar Bay cruises past Waters Meet, and despite 45 points from Brody Majoran, ETC is 12 short to Florence 72-60. Manistee, no trouble with Rapid River, winning by 38. It was Ontonagon 5 better than Lakeland and Hubble. Pickford trips up Gaylord 65-49. Jackson Brown goes over the 1,000-point mark for his career as Rudyard turned back Newberry 60-43. Alpena by 6 over Sault Ste. Marie. Brimley 52, Engadine 40. St. Ignace wins by 10 over Cedarville Detour. And Maplewood Baptist easily over Mackinac Island. In high school hockey, Jeffers turns back Marquette 3-2. Did not get the Kingsford Hancock score, but we can tell you that Manistee defeated Sheboygan 6-1. High school skiing, Marquette winning the boys today as they were up at Mont Ripley. Ironwood was second. Lake Skidda won both races for the boys. On the girls' side, Marquette also the winner with Norway second. Marquette swept 6 spots in the slalom led by Stella DeLynn, and yeah, she ended up winning both races. Quickly to Michigan, 20 seconds. We can do this. Penn State at home tonight against Dusty May and the Wolverines. Off a miss, Morez Johnson Jr. to Namari Burnett for the score. Michigan had to survive big time in a possible loss at the end, but the three-pointer missed. Michigan wins 74-72, and we will be right back.
Final check of your forecast. This is the tease of spring, I guess you can call it that. It's just a little bit of that thaw, the warm up. We see above freezing and above average as well. Some rays of sunshine, especially out to the western half of the UP for tomorrow, around the mid-30s. Just watch out for that glazing of ice for tomorrow. But then I wanted to advance it to that overnight of Thursday night rain and snow. We could add on also some potential ice for that. So it's the rest of the overnight, and then Thursday night into Friday we have to watch out for that ice. But even if we do get a little wintry mix or ice or wet snowflakes, it's going to be hard for it to accumulate just because it's been warm and will still trend on that above average temperature scale for the next 6 to 10 days. And I'm still going to say average precipitation. We may see a little more than we typically do, but again, thankfully the next few days it's warm where it won't accumulate too much, and then if there's rain it'll wash it away. But we will talk more tomorrow about the colder temperatures and the snow showers that are on the way for the weekend.
Kelly, thank you again. And finally tonight, it's a new year, which means it's time for New Year's resolutions. One of the most popular resolutions is kickstarting the year with new healthy habits, such as going to the gym. Anytime Fitness, one of the many gyms in Marquette, is seeing an increase in memberships as 2026 begins. Anytime Fitness manager Tim Martin says getting into the gym takes a little bit of self-motivation, but getting a coach might be the right way to go for those that need some extra help.
Honestly, I would say I have two main tips. One, if you work with a coach, it gets you a long way because you're gonna lose momentum or motivation at some point. If you can tell yourself, hey, I'll go in for 15 minutes to do something, I guarantee you're gonna be here longer. If you're not, that's still 15 minutes more than you would have done.
In addition to coaching services, the gym also offers instructor-led fitness classes for those that may need some extra guidance in their fitness journeys.
That's all we have for tonight. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you back here tomorrow at 6/5 Central.